Oh, it's you again. Your name is... Wait, don't tell me. Zelik? Oh, mud crabs. That was my cousin's name. I think. Excuse me, but have you seen my headdress? I seem to have misplaced it. Sure thing. It's real pretty. Made of feathers, and bones, and braided fur, and... It's on my head, isn't it? Invar's always saying if I fell out of a boat, I couldn't find water. And I think she might be right. The Reachmen say his human heart was too big for his chest, so he traded it in for a smaller model. The romantic type say his old heart was broken by the only woman he'd ever loved. I guess I side with the romantics. Thendrick loved Invar more than a dog loves a bone, but my sister don't take kindly to being buried. She said he was suffocating is what I mean. All that attention. Although, I wonder, is that such a bad thing? Invar's a free woman though. It's like the elders say, there are bees meant to make honey and bees meant to sting. Personally, I don't see why anyone has to be a bee of any kind. I'm terrified of them. It's just who Thendrick was. He was always the type to take things to extremes. If Invar said his hair was too long, he'd shave it off. If she said he was around too much, he'd watch her from afar. If she said he was too short, he'd tie slabs of wood to the soles of his boots. If she said he was too tall, he'd crouch around all day like a goblin. It was really very sweet. Nothing could, and nothing would, until the day Invar told him yes. She'd love him on one condition, if he managed to best her in single combat. My sister knew that Thendrick was half the fighter she was, but more importantly, he would never lay a hand on the one he loved. So the deal wasn't fair, and it wasn't square. There was only one way he could hope to best her in combat, and both he and Invar knew it. I forget a lot, but I'll never forget that stormy night when he lay on the witch's table. How the thunder roared, and the grass stood on end. It began as a bluff, and became a vow. It didn't matter if the duel would never come. To Thendrick, this was a test of his love, and hers. I begged him to reconsider. I told him I'd tie my sister up and drag her to his tent. He turned his head to me and smiled. I smiled back. "You have your sister's smile," he said, and then the light went out of his eyes. Those words, his last words, they vex me to no end. Farewell.